What if I told you saving for retirement is the biggest scam you've ever been sold? You're sacrificing your best years for a life you might never get to enjoy. And I'm here to show you why it's time to ditch the save and wait mentality for good. In this video, I'm going to break down why traditional retirement advice is outdated, the 3 biggest risks of relying on savings, and how you can build wealth systems that make you financially free today, not decades from now. I'm also going to share a question you need to keep asking yourself about your investment strategies that will tell you if your passive income is going to work for you to balance living a big life today and still end up with more wealth when you're older. And yes, you can have it all. After 30 years of starting businesses and raising capital for other wealthy entrepreneurs, I have shared the importance of focusing your energy on one big idea and the importance of saving every dime and pouring it into your business. Well, not everyone wants to build the next Google or Tesla. Not everyone is cut out for the stress of building a massive company, and that's okay. You need to decide what path you want to take. But regardless, you need to avoid the dead-end route of working for a lifetime and hoping to live long enough to enjoy your old age. And today, I'm going to show you how you can create a unique investment strategy to get off the train to nowhere that most people are stuck on and start enjoying your wealth sooner rather than later. To understand why this is so important, I need to talk to you about the broken promise of retirement. Traditional retirement was designed for a different era when people worked one job for life. Pensions were standard and reliable, and life expectancy was much shorter. Today's system relies on unstable markets, inflation, and the false promise of future happiness. I know of countless people who sacrifice 30 years of their life working for a company and saving every dime, only to face layoffs, health issues, or a poor quality of life in retirement. You see the commercials of couples at a retirement community. They're playing pickleball and they seem so happy. Well, when I drive through one of those communities, all I see is sadness. I don't see people smiling. I see people waiting to die. They look old, they look tired, and they look depressed. I don't know about you, but nope, that's not for me. And yes, there are risks to being an entrepreneur and to investing for growth, but there's risks of the save and wait mentality also. And I'm going to take you through the 3 biggest ones. Number 1, time scarcity. Even if the company you work for 30 years survives and can provide you with a pension, or your slow and steady savings plan has enough money for you to live on, life itself is unpredictable. Many people don't live long enough to enjoy retirement or are too old to truly enjoy it. How many times have you heard the story about the man and a woman who works their fingers to the bone finally get to retire, only to fall ill and die soon after? They literally wore themselves out working for a company. Their bodies had nothing left, or they suddenly got cancer or some other terrible calamity. Risk 2. Inflation. We've all seen how inflation has impacted the price of everything we buy today. Well, imagine $1 million saved today. How much will it lose by the time you need it when you retire? The money you save will be there. But does it even matter if it can't buy what you need then? And finally, risk number 3 is lost opportunity. Every dollar sitting in a 401k or a savings account could have been working harder in real estate, stocks, or your own business. I'm going to tell you why traditional advice keeps you so stuck. It's not your fault. The current system benefits financial institutions who can charge you fees, penalties, while keeping you dependent on your job forever. The system wasn't built to make you wealthy, it was built to keep you working. But fortunately, there is another way. I call it the new wealth paradigm. Stop saving and start earning. Shift your focus from hoarding money to scaling income. Telling you wealthy people prioritize earning over traditional saving. And they're doing this by creating businesses. They're acquiring assets. They are leveraging their skills. I hate to say this, but if you're working 40 hours a week just to save 10%, you're playing the wrong game. Because the rich, they don't save, they multiply. And now I'm going to tell you how you can start doing this too. And I promise this will be a game changer for the rest of your life. Here are 3 ways to build passive income streams. And once you learn to think of your money as always working for you instead of just sitting passively, you will start to build true wealth. You will start small, but it will start to grow quickly. Number 1, real estate. Buy a rental property, or much more simply, invest in a REIT. A REIT is a real estate investment trust. They are publicly traded companies that invest exclusively in cash-flowing real estate. They give you the benefit of the growth and the earnings from the real estate combined with liquidity. Number 2, stocks, but not any stocks. Try to focus on dividend-paying stocks. Whether they pay dividends monthly or quarterly, that money can be reinvested for additional growth. Also, consider stocks and industries that you think could see tremendous growth, like AI or other relevant technologies. Number 3, start a scalable business. Building a company that can grow in a field that you know something about or you have a passion for is one of the best ways to stay ahead of inflation. One way to tell if your money is working for you is to ask yourself this simple: are my investments paying me now or just when I'm old? If they're only paying you when you're old, chances are that dividends aren't being reinvested. You're not maximizing the growth potential that you could. So the goal needs to be reinvest to accelerate growth. To really compound your growth, you want to reinvest all of the cash flow instead of hoarding money for later, especially to go into a savings account. Instead, reinvest it in assets that could work harder than you ever could. So I think we need a new definition of wealth, a way of redefining retirement as a whole. You need at this point in your life to shift your narrative, because wealth isn't about working 40 years and then stopping. It's about designing a life where you're free to work on your terms. The goal isn't to retire at all. The goal is freedom. Freedom now, because freedom shouldn't wait until you're 65 or 70. Once you start looking at your life in this way, the limits to how you live are only limited by the plans you've made for yourself. If you are no longer worried about not having to save every nickel you make because your money is now working for you, and you are no longer stressing about the old confines of having X amount of money put away by the time I'm X age, you will be shocked how big a life you can live now. So here's a plan I would like to offer you. It's a roadmap to balancing safety with long-term growth. First, you need to build that safety net of cash. You're going to have unforeseen expenses. My recommendation is put 3 to 6 months of cash away. Number 2, you need to identify your scalable income streams. We've talked about them above. You need to immediately start coming up with your own personal plan for what ways you want to invest your money so that it scales with income streams. And number 3, you want to invest aggressively in appreciating assets. Number 4, reinvest profits to grow even faster. And number 5, and this is the big one, you need to start enjoying your financial freedom now. You need to travel. You need to work less. You need to pursue passions. You need to get fit, both emotionally and physically. We all have to stop chasing a broken dream of retirement. We need to start building wealth that works for you today. Your time is your most valuable asset. You need to use it wisely. You weren't born to work, save and die. You were born to live, create and thrive. So break free from the system and build a life you don't need to escape from. If you enjoyed this video and would like to get more life hacks on living your best life and escaping the financial stress of a broken system, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you next time.